morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D Lake for Prez. David Lake of the MediaSpeaks.com. Everyone, please check out the website. I'm joined this morning by Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views, and the band passing time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome to the Saturday edition. What you got, D-Lake?
Sam, we had a great show last week, and you remember we were talking about, okay, it's Saturday of last weekend, and we said Hillary Clinton's going to launch her presidential campaign the following day. She launched her campaign on the 12th, on Sunday. And real quickly, I wanted to play this Hillary Clinton launch video. But before I do, let me just preface by saying that Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, they had big auditoriums filled with people. Rand Paul came out with his wife, and his family was there, and he acknowledged his father, Ron Paul, who was in attendance. And he gave basically a 20-minute speech all about his policies and his plans, what he would do if he was president. Hillary Clinton took a different route. She didn't have an auditorium. She didn't have a lot of press there. We're going to get into Hillary's first week on the campaign trail, where she is essentially hiding.
I'm glad you said that. I'm very happy you said that, because when I was doing show prep, I was trying to look up and show Christelle Hillary's announcement. And I wanted to hear the announcement so I could report on it. And it, not just me, Christelle as well, it took us 15 minutes to realize that this crazy hag has released a video that this press conference that I'm looking for didn't happen. And her website, she's the only presidential candidate that anybody can think of that has announced the campaign without having any issues on her website. She's got no issues. She got in the dunce cap of the month, dunce of the day. I talked about, I think it is in the dunce cap of the month award video. I'm sorry, D-Like, but it talks about how she got a standing ovation from journalists for taking no questions.
Exactly. That's where she said that she's all about her new hairstyle, her new grandbaby, and her brand new email, Sam. And you are correct. It was reported this week that unlike Paul, Cruz, and Rubio's websites that have links to their policies, Hillary doesn't have any policies yet. We're going to get to that. But first here, Sam, this is what you were looking so hard for. Here's the 2-minute video.
Yeah. I'm looking for like cameras and news microphones, and I get this.
Exactly, and there's already dispute over the video because several of the people featured in the beginning part of the video, where Hillary Clinton essentially makes a cameo in her own announcement video. And I'm going to play the video, Sam. Here we go. That features gays holding hands and lesbians canoodling.
I'm going to mute out, so give me a second to go back on when you're done.
I'm getting ready for a lot of things. A lot of things. It's spring, so we're starting to get the gardens ready. And
okay, that old lady gardening is a Democratic operative, former Democratic politician.
Tomatoes are legendary here in my own neighborhood. My daughter is about to start kindergarten next year, and so we're moving just so she can belong to a better school.
Mi hermano y yo estamos empezando un primer negocio.
My brother and I are starting our first business, and I speak a different language in America.
After 5 years of raising my children, I am now going back to work.
Okay, Sam, we're over 30 seconds in. Does this video have anything to do with Hillary Clinton, in your opinion, so far?
You know, I have to say it does have something to do with Hillary Clinton, because it's been her policies and Obama's policies, and even the continuation of some of the Bush policies that she helped keep going when she's part of the Obama administration, that has led to fewer Americans opening up a business in the last year, according to the most recent available stats anyway, than has ever happened in American history. Fewer businesses have opened. So yeah, I mean, she had a lot to do with that. So I'm glad it was mentioned.
Okay, well, we'll see how far this video takes us before we actually see Hillary talking.
Every day we're trying to get more and more ready
Blacks, very attractive black woman right there.
and more prepared.
A baby boy coming your way.
Oh, happy family. I like
Right
that.
now, I'm applying for jobs. It's
I
a
like this
look
girl.
into what the real world will look like after college.
Oh, we're gonna talk about college and college visits too. Okay, here's two gay men holding hands.
I'm getting married this summer to someone I really care about.
This guy, I love him.
I'm gonna be in a play and I'm gonna be in a fish costume. From little tiny fishes.
Okay, does that have anything to do with Hillary Clinton and her? Here we go.
I'm getting ready to retire soon.
Yoo-hoo!
Retirement means reinvestment.
Oh, did you see that lady had an American flag hanging outside her house? I don't know if that was her house or her neighbor's house that she called the police on, but I don't know how that's allowed.
To yourself in many ways.
Well, we've been doing a lot of home renovations.
But most importantly, we really just want to teach our dog to quit eating the trash.
Okay, we're over 1 minute and 14 seconds into the video, and now we're talking about the dog eating trash.
And so we have high hopes for 2015 that that's going to happen.
Oh, and they have a
I
cat.
started a new career recently. This is a 5th generation company, which means a lot to me. This country was founded on hard work, and it really feels good to be a part of that.
I'm getting ready to do something too.
Oh! Ha ha! 1:30 in, there she is. She's getting ready to do something too. Sit down and drink coffee with you at a staged event. She got the red shirt with the high collar blue thing. Listen to this talk, Sam.
Running for president.
I'm running for president.
Americans have fought their way back from tough economic times.
And when did those begin? During the George Bush administration. So she just blamed Bush that right there.
But the deck is still stacked in favor of those at the top.
My campaign financiers, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan.
Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
Okay. I don't know if I want to stop.
This looks like one of the Third Reich propaganda videos. If anyone gets a chance, or if Delay can look it up later, the videos where before Hitler let everybody know that he was a madman, the way that he was promoting the Third Reich, and it wasn't him. It was actually Joseph Goebbels that did it. It looks like a Goebbels video with a 2015 shine put on it. And remember, it was nothing about killing Jews. When this was way before any of that was really realized by people. This looks like a Goebbels video.
Now, Sam, I believe it's here that she says that the everyday Americans need a champion, and she's not going to. Well, she might be that champion. She wants to be that champion. But I mean, if this was my video, I'd come out and say, I am that champion. Vote for me.
Americans have fought their way back from tough economic times. But the deck is still stacked in favor of those at the top. Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
Good luck.
So you can do more than just get by. You can get ahead and stay ahead.
She wants to be that champion so you can get ahead, Sam, and stay ahead.
Well, she just said a minute ago that we have fought our way out of tough economic times. We have 49% of the working population on some kind of government assistance, I think, or something like that.
None of the families in this video that, to my knowledge, there's dispute over this video because the people featured in the video, not all of them are for Hillary, and they thought they were shooting the video for Hal Hardpin or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They only later found out that it was the Clinton campaign, and so we won't know until the campaign finances are released, like who actually shot the video. There's a little dispute over this.
Because when families are strong, America is strong.
Okay, families are strong like these two canoodling lesbians.
So I'm hitting the road to earn your vote.
I like how even the little kid has the same hairstyle as Hillary.
Oh,
she's hitting the road. Okay, we're going to get to that.
Because it's your time. And I hope you'll join me on this journey.
And I want to interject here real quick.
There's a bunch of lesbian in the center of her awesome new logo. Sam, can you address the logo?
Everyone thinks it's a hospital sign. it up. That's what people think it is. They don't recognize it as a Hillary. They had to put her name on it, Hillary 4, because she was trying just the H, and the people were showing it to Americans, and they thought it was a hospital sign. The other thing that's funny is, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that are maybe not in agreement with me on this, but it happens. I love watching two women do just about anything together. I do. I know it might not be morally right. Maybe it's morally indifferent. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie. However, I don't think that me liking to watch two women make out is something that the entire world needs to agree with me on. I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think that they should be harassed against. I don't think a church should have to marry them if the church doesn't want to. There are churches that won't marry me because I have tattoos, because I lived with my girlfriend prior to when we, if we get married. Any of that, done. They wouldn't marry me. That's their right. I am against this force feeding of making people accept the fact that I like to watch two girls on a couch. That's ridiculous. Nobody has to accept something just because someone's doing it and other people don't mind it. The notion behind this is way off. And again, I would use the same light on myself. If a church doesn't want to marry me, a church doesn't have to marry me. They shouldn't have to. Go to another church.
And what if they want to make you a wedding cake, Sam? Is that going to be a problem?
I bet you, now that I said that, I'm not making him a wedding cake. He likes to watch women make out. See, now I'm not going to get a cake. Now I'm not going to get a cake.
No cake for you, pal.
All right, I mean, think about it. Is there anything in your life, do you like that you don't really necessarily want to force other people to agree with you on? You don't really care if they agree with you or not. As a matter of fact, under normal circumstances, you probably wouldn't even talk about it. This rush that we all have to embrace everybody else's ideals is really scary. Just because you don't want to embrace them, now you're considered somebody that hates them. That's not true at all. I'd be very unhappy if there was no girl-on-girl porn anymore. I'll put it out there. It would suck.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Sam, I like how you're asking the tough questions, but one thing that I, in my life, want to avoid is any questions about my private email server, anything that has to do with my knowledge of Benghazi as Secretary of State. And what I alluded to earlier is something that's been spoken about in the press this week, the media, is that Hillary is essentially in hiding. Now, when Rand Paul came out and made that big giant splash at the auditorium, he was there with his wife, his mom, and his dad. He made his announcement that he's running for president, near the end of a 20-minute speech where he laid out his policies, his plans, his thoughts and ideas, his vision for the country and all that. We obviously just saw Hillary's vision there, complete with all the video montage and her making a cameo in her video to say that she wants to be a champion for the everyday people. Not that she is that champion, but that's what she wants to be. So she's trying really hard. So her first campaign stop, she drove the Scooby van. They call it the Scooby van because it's like the Scooby-Doo van, which is known as the Mystery Machine. And there's more than one because she's a company. Yeah, and there's like marijuana smoke coming out of it. And but she's accompanied by two other dark tinted bulletproof SUV or like vans equipped with heated seats, beds. Hillary Clinton hasn't driven a car in over 20 years. I don't know if you heard that.
Yes, I did, believe it or not.
I'm just stating the facts. I don't want to dig too far in, but let's take a look at this young lady in Iowa who is what you would call an everyday American, an everyday Iowan. I am an everyday Iowan, and here is how close I got to Hillary Clinton today, Sam. If you can see my screen share, we're going to run down what Erica Smalley, who grew up in Iowa, and she's currently a student at Kirkwood Community College, where Hillary Clinton made an appearance. Go ahead, Sam.
And D, let me ask you, we've been fortunate in our careers doing this. We both have had the pleasure of speaking to Jim Gray. We got to meet the gentleman I didn't get to, but you guys did for the movie, Scatia, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jim Scatia.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. At any point, did we smile as if we just met a god? And at any point, would they have wanted us to smile at them like we had met a god? I don't think so.
No, in my opinion, that was I'm an everyday Californian who met a senator from Illinois, Jim Scatia.
It was an honor to speak to him, but it
was an honor, but he is
this worship that's coming up here over Hillary is rather frightening.
I would say there was no worshiping going on, but definitely an appreciation, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is like a cult that we're seeing here.
And did you hear about like one of Clinton's her announcement, her first press release? She messed up in the typing and says that she's been fighting children and families her whole career. Instead of fighting for them, she's fighting them.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, well, on her first trip in Iowa, she drove the Scooby van there, Hillary, to have conversations with everyday Iowans. And so there's a press release about how she's a tenacious fighter for children, families, middle-class American families. Well, let's just see what Erica found. Erica arrived about an hour before the event, and all she could find were reporters. And there's a picture of a bunch of reporters out in the field. Lots of reporters, which is funny because all they had to stare at was an empty Iowa field. So this college looks like it's sort of like out in the middle of a big Iowa field. Anyway, some protesters trickled in. Wall Street banks for Hillary, give the Saudi money back. She voted for the Iraq war, according to these gentlemen. But that is true, though. These guys were funny. They're called the Nerd Squad. And she took a picture of the handout where they say that, according to computer forensic experts, Hillary Clinton emails might be deleted, but they're not gone. The Republican Nerd Squad will happily turn Miss Clinton's servers over to these experts so we can verify the claim that her emails that were deleted were only for personal communication. So they're willing to get to the bottom of that server. They're like nerds, so they can like figure out if anything was deleted from the email. Erica also found some Hillary supporters, a gaggle of old ladies. Monticello, Iowa says, "Hi, Hillary. Welcome to Iowa, Miss President. You go, girl." Looks like it's written in fingernail polish. It was getting close to the time when Hillary would arrive, so Erica tried to enter the college. And she was told, "Sorry, press only," by a Hillary staffer. And there's the logo again that makes it look like if you need hospital medical care, you go through this door right here.
And there it is without the, that's before they realized they needed to add the "for Hillary" that I was talking about. Yes.
Right, yeah.
Hospital service. Oh, D, that means if you go to the right, you could donate blood. It was a blood drive at the school, I think.
Yeah, I saw something that's like, it's only a matter of days before someone turns the logo into "I'm with stupid," with the arrow.
I know what that's great. I know when I saw that sign when I was in college, that meant, I get out of class and get a free cookie.
Yeah. So anyways, there's Erica. Well, she had some free time. She took a selfie. So there she is.
And let me take a selfie.
She's a cute everyday Iowan. Then someone shouted, "She's coming! She's coming!" And everyone started running. So
yeah, I'd run away too.
Here's my point of view. Here's everyone. There she is. She's coming. Everyone's like, "Jesus." Are they running towards her or running away?
I was just saying. That's what I was alluding to. I might run away myself.
Anyway, so here's how close she got. All the press. You can see some cameras there on the side. They're up against a fence. And Hillary, I mean, I don't know how to make this not sound bad, Sam, but Hillary likes to go in through the back door.
No, that's how the government gets into computers too. She's used to that.
She snuck in the back door, and reporters were complaining that they were here for hours, and she wouldn't even let them see her. So she sort of snuck in under a veil of secrecy from her dark tinted bulletproof Scooby van. And also, there was a bunch of people out in the front where you think she would enter. Old people in wheelchairs, everyday Iowans that were out in the front for, to meet and greet because she wanted to get out to Iowa and press the flesh. But no, she snuck in the back door. Then Erica noticed the students pressed up against the glass in their classroom. So she took this photo. and later learned that they had been on lockdown for the arrival. So if Hillary's in the halls, you have to be locked into your classrooms. Then everyone just waited with the kids.
You can learn a lot from this campaign, and you don't give me their word someone's going to shoot her. What, you don't think Rand likes his life? You don't think maybe Ted Cruz doesn't like his life? Because you don't see them doing this.
They're giving speeches in front of crowded audiences, Sam, and also opening themselves up to the press. Again, I've said it for like the third or fourth time. Hillary is actually, this road trip is her in hiding because she's avoiding the press to sit down with everyday Americans. Let me just scroll through. Okay, here we go, Sam. View image. Now look closely. There she is. Erica managed to get this photo. Now, Sam, if you can see in that dark doorway, just feet away from the entrance to her Scooby van, there she is waving. If you squint, you can see her. That's her hand, and that looks like her hair and head. Can you see that?
Yeah, it must have been a godlike moment to have been there and witnessed.
Oh, yeah. Erica mentions how totally excited she was.
It's always funny how, you know, those it looks like she's doing a Sig Heil.
That's just a wave, Sam. Don't try to turn it into a Sig Heil. Then she drove. Then she drove right by me in her black van. So there's a good look at the Scooby van. Is that a Ford? No, it's a Chevy. And this is as close as this everyday Iowan Erica got to Hillary. Her van zoomed right by her, and she could not see her through the tinted glass. And there she goes. Goodbye, Hillary. Thank you for coming. And then I believe it was that day or the next day, Hillary has a coffee shop visit that was staged from beginning to end with handpicked and vetted Democrats. The three people that she sat down with that the press called, you know, an everyday student and everyday Iowans, they were driven there by one of her campaign managers who had a 30-minute conversation with them. They didn't even know that they were going to be doing this. He's like, hey, we're going to meet with Hillary. You want to go? The mayor and his wife were there, where they had this opportunity to snap this photograph where it looks like she's sitting down with concern to everyday Americans, Sam.
I heard that it was staged. I didn't know that it was that badly staged. I knew more about this one than how bad the college was, but I didn't realize that it was only 3. Once I realized the way she announced, I pulled off the story because it just seemed insane. I didn't know it went to this level of insanity, to be quite honest. That all that hype was over 3 handpicked people. I was under the impression she at least picked a few more than 3. That's even worse. Even when Alex Jones says, I knew things were bad, now they're even worse. Yeah, it's worse than I thought.
So this gentleman here in the tie with the close cropped hair, he says, we were asked to come to a meeting with Troy. Now Troy is works for Hillary, and the 3 of us at the Village Inn, the 3 meaning him and these 2 females. The other 2 he confirmed were University of Iowa College Democrat President Carter Bell and Planned Parenthood of the Heartland employee Sarah Sadliak. It was supposed to be a strategy meeting, Bird recalled, to get our thoughts about issues, but then all of a sudden he says, hey, we have Secretary Clinton coming in. Would you like to go meet her? And then after talking to them for a half hour, he drives them there to meet Hillary. Like, he basically vetted them for 30 minutes to hear their thoughts and opinions. Then he says, hey, let's go meet Hillary for this photo op. And it was reported, I don't know if this is the mayor, but it's reported that the mayor and his wife were at the coffee shop. So it's all just like staged. But then the picture comes out in the media, and they're like, but you know what? This picture didn't get as much coverage as Chipotle-gate. Chipotle-gate, Sam. Did you hear about the Chipotle-gate? Chipotle.
It floored me because it reminded me, and again, I'm really not a big fan of reality TV to watch, but I was an Ozzy Osbourne fan. If you're not an Ozzy fan, you'd have been bored to death. But it reminded me of Mrs. Osbourne when she's talking about Ozzy, and he's going to Chipotle, and he's trying to get in shape for this tour, and she goes, The problem with Ozzy isn't that he likes to have a burrito. The problem with Ozzy is that he likes to have 8 burritos. And it was like, oh my God, this is as bad. I remember thinking to myself, you've got to be a real diehard Ozzy fan to watch Ozzy eat a burrito. Lo and behold, half of America was infatuated with this story. And D-Lake, all I could hear in the background was Mrs. Osborne speaking in my head.
Right. Well, Hillary's visit to Chipotle, Sam, you can see in this security surveillance video where it looks like she's actually holding the place up with some kind of future device there. She's there with Huma Abedin. They're both in dark glasses. But apparently, Hillary, who's trying to press the flesh and talk to everyday Iowans, apparently at this point in the day, on that particular day, driving around the country in the Scooby vans, she was like off duty. She wasn't trying to talk to anyone in the restaurant. She wasn't trying to shake hands or meet and greet and talk and tell people her ideas and thoughts and campaigns and be their everyday champion to the people at Chipotle, where no one even recognized her as Hillary Clinton. They just said, oh, another old white broad with dark glasses ordering a burrito bowl. Her and Huma Abedin got some burrito bowls. The total came to $20 and change. Interestingly, Sam, they paid in cash $21 and failed to put, you know when they hand you back the spare change, maybe it's 42 cents, 63 cents, 74 cents, whatever the change was on $21. But they didn't put that 63 cents into the tip jar, Sam. They didn't rattle the tip jar with their spare change from the $21. They just put it in their purse and called it. And they must have had to get a receipt because this is a campaign trail, right, Sam? I mean, who's paying for that meal?
She didn't even tip them. I've only been to Chipotle a time or two. I liked it. Well, we have one, but I didn't. You always leave something behind in those instances.
Actually, Sam, my friend and confidant wants me to do a whole 30 minutes about tip jars at places like Starbucks and Chipotle when they don't have tip jars at McDonald's. I mean, those I don't. Not that I think that. I don't know. I kind of have a problem with some tip jars, but regardless, they didn't leave a fucking tip. Okay, what else do you want from me? What else do you want me to say? Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. Sam, we have quite a few viewers, so try to stay on point here.
I think the most important thing that Hillary needs to do right now is realize that this is. Well, I hope she doesn't realize it, but either way, this is repelling all the people that were on the fence with her, of which I was not. So I don't include myself there. But people that are on the fence are not going to be attracted to this campaign. Susan Warren, who I'm not a huge fan of, has such an opportunity right now.
Sam, you keep saying Susan Warren. It's Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
Her middle name could be Susan, for all I don't know. I don't know where you're getting that Susan from.
I don't either, but obviously I'm not going to vote for it. I know enough about her politics to know that she's an environmental nutcase. But in any event, the door is open for her.
Sam, there's no way you could vote for her because when you go to the polls, you're going to be looking for Susan Warren on the ballot, and it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty funny. So, anyways, Rand Paul just recently said that Clinton needs one campaign plane. She needs 2 campaign planes, one for her and her entourage, and one for her baggage. She needs one for her and her entourage and one for her baggage, just her baggage.
That'd be Bill.
And Rand Paul's concerned that the plane with the baggage is really getting heavy and teetering. Now, before I get to any reasons here, on Thursday, Hillary ditched. Not just the Scooby van, but all 3 vans in her Secret Service, and flies to New Jersey after wrapping up a 3-day tour in Iowa. In those 3 days in Iowa, Sam, she went to a community college, not a state college or a university where people are like suffering under the massive weight of tuition. No, she went to a community college. I'm not saying, I went to community college, and what I can tell you is there's not going to be a big rally at a community college. There's not going to be a bunch of people protesting the tuition at a community college, okay? So that was pretty fucking piss poor. Then she does her stage coffee shop. She does like 2 events in 2 days, stops at a couple gas stations, poses with a couple people, and everything is staged from her fucking announcement video on forward. And then she flew home. And it says the headlines are that she flew home on coach and that she carried her own luggage, Sam. But, okay, here's a picture of her carrying her own luggage. My mom carries her own luggage. She's about the same fucking age, so no big deal, okay? This bag actually looks too big to fit in the overhead compartment, if you ask me. But she wasn't on a conventional airplane like we're familiar with, Sam. She was on this United Express jet. This says she flew coach and there's no first class because the entire jet is first class. There's no middle seat. It's these 2 seats. Only one person recognized her and tweeted, yep, Hillary Clinton is on my flight to Newark. So there's that. And I'm sure if you look this guy up, he's a rich guy that can afford to fly jets back and forth on short distances.
Let me remind you, too, remember all the flack that Ron Paul got because he bought himself a plane to be able to campaign properly? I have a lot more respect for someone that says, yeah, I bought a plane, than somebody who comes up with a fake-ass story like this. And I'm sorry. If she would have just said, I bought a plane or I chartered a plane, I don't think anybody would have cared. Everybody would have understood. I understand if you're a politician and you want to buy a plane. But this lie to make us believe that you fly just like we, so tired of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, she flew coach. I'm like, yeah, look at the jet she flew on with the 2 seats on each side. And then she didn't conventionally just get off the plane and was walking through the tarmac, picking up her luggage at the terminal. No, she got off the tarmac to police, Secret Service, limousines, all these people lined up with armored-proof vehicles and dark tinted windows.
That bag is probably full of documents ready for the paper shredder.
Okay, well, she is flying back to New Jersey for a short drive to Chappaqua, New York, where her home is, where that illegal private email was stored and protected by the Secret Service, as if she had floppy disks just laying around with all the government secrets on them, you know. But an interesting thing is that Trey Gowdy wants to issued, like, I don't know if it was a subpoena per se, but he wants to sit down in a transcribed deposition with Hillary Clinton and other people involved in his Benghazi Select Committee investigation. But he specifically wants to sit down with Hillary Clinton to ask her a bunch of questions about her email and that controversy. So that is not going away, Sam. And how do you feel? How do you feel about her launching her campaign in the midst of the email scandal? I mean, how do you feel about that?
I don't know that she had much choice there. She needed to do something to deflect from the email scandal. But I would argue that the way she did this, she's one of those people that lie when the truth would help you. I know people like that. People that will lie when the truth would actually help them. She's one of them. Hillary Clinton is one of these people that just lie non-stop.
And isn't that, I mean, lying even when the truth would probably benefit you more, isn't that in line with, say, like a pathological liar?
Yes. Yeah, I would say she is pathological in the way that she lies. Just cannot stop.
I mean, when you've been doing it for...
Can't admit when they do it. They'd rather lose everything than admit that they lied. Hillary is one of those people.
Well, when you've been doing it your whole life, and someone that's probably familiar with that would be, I don't know.
Everybody, myself included, everyone lies when they feel like they have to. Some people lie when there's not even a reason to.
Well, Sam, according to Nancy Pelosi, Hillary's record doesn't matter. What's important is that she is a woman, according to Nancy Pelosi. Again, Hillary Clinton has been a strong, and then she can't even finish the sentence. She comes to this, yes, as a woman. And I saw another report where a guy goes out and interviews. He interviews a bunch of people, and their only response as to why Hillary should be president is because she is a woman. I mean, let Carly run. Let Elizabeth Warren run. I mean,
Let Susan one run.
And even Susan can run. Whatever, you know. Just, I mean, let's see. I'd love to see that Carly Fiorina, whatever, the one from Hewlett Packard. I think like she's coming out strong against Hillary. Like, I would love to see two women debate. You know, that would be good. Sam, you just said earlier you like the girl on girl. I mean, how would you like girl on girl presidential debate? I mean,
anything involved.
There might be some tongue kissing. There might be some tongue kissing at the end, Sam.
D-Lake
a pillow fight, maybe a pillow fight.
D-Lake has just cured me. I no longer like women on women. Thank you, D-Lake. It's you know what? It's all ruined for me now.
The visual ruined
the
it for
visual
you?
of Clinton. Yeah. Why don't you just make it Clinton and Ruth Bader Ginsburg and call it a night?
Yeah,
oh my God.
A Nancy Pelosi three-way. Huma Abedin somewhere in there. I mean, Huma's like kind of cute. I mean,
Ruth Alligator Ginsburg. Oh my God. Yeah, but I would argue we don't know for sure that Hillary is. I'm just saying. Just putting it out there.
It is nightmare-inducing, but to that, I mean, because there's a lot of people that say, you know, the shades of lesbianism on Hillary's part is kind of, you know, like, I mean, is that a reason to vote or not vote for her? She just changed her position on gay, the LGBT marriage, you know, gay marriage and all that just this past week. And Breitbart reports that, Sam, you brought up earlier how Hillary doesn't have any policies on her website yet, but, you know, Rand Paul does, Ted Cruz does, Marco Rubio, they all do on their websites, but Hillary doesn't have that yet. Matt Drudge reports that Hillary is using Google data. She's using Google data instead of her own new and fresh ideas. In other words, she only wants to present what the general consensus says is the most popular ideas, not her own ideas. You know, why don't we just, Sam, and I know you're not going to like this idea, but why don't we just let the Google algorithm be the fucking president, Sam? What do you think, Sam? Should Google be the president?
Or if she's going to run that way, why doesn't she say, I'm going to let each state vote on whether or not it wants gay marriage? Again, if you just told the truth that you were going to run that way.
That was her old position, that it's up to the states. But now she's saying that there should be a constitutional amendment to let gays get married, Sam.
And well, if she's going to let the people decide, then you have to let the people vote on it. She can't have it both ways. I have no problem with somebody who runs a campaign that way, actually. But if you're going to do that, then you have to let the people vote on it. I happen to believe that the nation would be better off if we did have votes on these issues and got it over with. No, actually, Sam, that's pretty brilliant. So maybe Google shouldn't necessarily be the president, but what if Google and Google voting on issues was the Congress? What if our Congress operated in a virtual reality of popular opinion instead? What if we had a vote on whether or not, let's say, I'll pick one, abortions should be legal?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do that? But I guarantee that's not what she's talking about. I guarantee that's not the let the people. Do you see Hillary Clinton actually letting the people speak like that? D-Lake, if she wants to do it, I'm on board. I bet you she doesn't. Gay marriage, fine. Let's let people vote on it. I would be willing to do that. I bet you she isn't.
Well, another point that I was leading up to is when Rand Paul did his announcement video, and I said he was there with his wife. He was there with his family. Now, Rand Paul's wife, I can't think of her name right off the top of my head, Mrs. Paul.
Mrs. Paul, yes.
Mrs. Paul, there you go. Mrs. Paul's was on mainstream media doing, you know, interviews after Rand shushed that MSNBC reporter for constantly interrupting him or whatever. You know, the Democrats love that. They're like, oh, he's anti-woman. His wife comes out and says, no, you know, sometimes he just gets frustrated. He does that with everybody, you know. I mean, if they keep cutting him off.
Let
me speak. Shh. It's my turn. No, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead, Sam.
I said he did it to Luke Grabowski too, remember?
What?
He did it to Luke Wadowski too, remember?
Oh yeah, he tried to shush him as well, and that other reporter that was with Luke. I'd like to put that behind us. That was kind of a long time ago, and I mean, he was questioning him about Bilderberg, which we're supposed to try to keep secret. But anyways, I don't know. But I mean, shit, Hillary was at Bilderberg. I mean, Obama and Hillary both snuck into Bilderberg in Scooby vans back in 2008, where that's when they decided Barack was going to be president and Hillary was going to be Secretary of State. I mean, people, this has been going on so fucking long. And if we just let her fucking walk right in, this country is going to go to hell in a handbasket. I'm too late for Prez. Now, we've spent nearly an hour discussing Hillary, her campaign, her first week on the trail, the lousy intro video, the piss poor showing in Iowa, a couple days. Then she does like 2 events in 2 days. Then she sneaks into Chipotle for a burrito bowl, and that becomes national news. Jesus Herald. And then she hops aboard a jet, not a plane, a jet, where she rode coach on what essentially is an all first-class plane. Then she toted her own luggage through the airport. OMG, my mom can tote her own luggage to the airport. So can your mom. I mean, wow. She's an everyday American now. Did she drive herself to Chappaqua? No, she hasn't driven a car in 20 years. She was met at the tarmac by Secret Service and police escorts and bulletproof vehicles and all that. But whatever. You know what she really needs? She needs one of those bulletproof bubbles on the top so she can just wave at people like the Pope and then pretend that that's how she's getting in touch with the people. The way that she thinks that she's getting in touch with the people is by just using Google data. She's like, oh, I just use my Hillary Clinton email.com, a private email server, to tap into fucking Google data and the Google algorithm. And I say, what do you think the most people think about this policy? And then I wait, and I click enter, and then I wait for the response. And it's like, this is what most people think. And she's like, oh, here's my new policy. Ding. So we'll still have to wait to see what all her policies are, Sam. But do her policies really matter? She's a woman. Sam?
I think more than that too.
She's a woman.
If she has any policies, they're not going to be ones that you actually believe she's going to keep more than a couple of weeks anyway. And the Clintons have all had a history of that.
Okay, but I guess I keep diverting into a rant, but where's Bill? I mean, if Rand Paul's there with his wife and she's doing interviews, how come Hillary Clinton is just traveling around the country with Huma Abedin? Where the hell is Bill, her husband?
Well, we as soon as she shakes the sheets at whatever Las Vegas brothel, he'll be right out. He'll be right out. He's busy.
That's why she had to fly back to Chappaqua. They're like, you know that hot chick with the big titties that always comes over to the Chappaqua house when Bill's here by himself? She's back. And she's like, oh, shit. She has a cool nickname. They talked about her on Howard Stern. That was pretty funny. But anyway, Sam, I guess I'm trying to wrap this up. I've had enough of talking about Hillary. I think I got it all out. Wait, is there anything else I can think of? Nah. Let's get into your Sam Science news. The science. Sam Science.
Yeah,
science.
We miss Kyle.
Sam Science. Whoop, whoop, whoop. D-Lake makes his own soundtrack for Sam Science. Sam Science. Do the science, Sam.
Yeah, I like it. Jurassic Park in real life, the race to modify the DNA of endangered animals to resurrect extinct ones. I am not totally against this, depending on how it's done. I know a lot of people are going to be against it because they're going to say, it's going to create, a disaster. I think it'd be great to bring the dodo bird back. I've been saying we should probably look into this if we can do it safely. I'm not upset about it, guys. Let me know what you think. Jurassic Park has a lot to answer for, and it goes on to talk about the movie, which I'm not going to get into because it's more important stuff here. It says de-extinction, or the idea of bringing extinct species back from the dead, has come a long way over the quarter century since Jurassic Park was first published. It has now matured into a quasi-serious science and has even been the subject of its own TEDx conference. Of course, no one is talking about bringing back dinosaurs. Their DNA is lost for good. But some scientists are proposing to resurrect a range of other more recently extinct species, such as the passenger pigeon and the gastric brooding frog, both lost within living memory. I'm not against this, D-Lake. I'm just not. It says there are quite a few animals that have become extinct relatively recently that are the potential candidates for de-extinction. They include the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, a large marsupial carnivore wiped out by sheep ranchers a century ago. It says the Pyrenean ibex, I think, which was hunted for sport until the last one fell dead in 2000, and the Steller sea cow, a gentle giant annihilated by hungry sailors in the 18th century. Now, again, if you're not careful how you do this, you could mess up the ecosystem that we have now by introducing species in. So, I mean, you do have to be careful in that regard, and I understand people's concern there. It goes on that the most emblematic of them all is the woolly mammoth. There are few animals that better represent the lost world of the Pleistocene than these huge.
Whoa. Sam, I love the fucking woolly mammoth, man. I like woolly mammoths.
You might get a chance to tell one of them that. I'm telling you. It says they are the relatives of the modern elephant. Woolly mammoth roamed the vast grassy steppe of Eurasia and North America for hundreds of millennia.
Does he sound like Ray Romano in Ice Age?
He might. The very last individuals were isolated population of pygmy woolly mammoths that lived on Wrangel Island off northern Russia about 4,500 years ago. And there's no shortage of woolly mammoth DNA and tissue. So this is an interesting direction to go in. In South Korea and Russia, they're collaborating on a project to clone the woolly mammoth. I'm in favor of it. It goes on to mention the dangers in it in terms of how hard it could be. And again, you got to watch biodiversity. You have to watch where you put these animals. But think about it. Bringing back the carrier pigeon, bringing back the animals that, you know, correcting some of the errors that we have made as a people. I like it. It says in closing, if it works, de-extinction will only target a few species, and it's very expensive. Will it divert conservation dollars from true conservation measures that are already working? Well, I would say this is a true conservation message that could work. And it says, and they're already short on funds. Well, there are some things I would argue worth paying for. It says at this moment, brave conservationists are already risking their lives to protect dwindling groups of African forest elephants from heavily armed poachers. And here we are talking about bringing back the woolly mammoth. Well, if we can bring back the woolly mammoth, dumbass, then we can bring back the elephant that's being poached as well. I'm in favor of it. What do you think? Do you like?
I was just thinking that if there's all this woolly mammoth DNA laying around, there's got to be like saber-toothed tiger DNA laying around, and that's what I want. Saber-toothed tigers, pterodactyls, and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, maybe not. No, maybe not Tyrannosaurus Rex, but definitely not Velociraptors, but maybe some Brontosaurus. But anyways, Sam, when I was looking up this earlier, I found this article on Screen Rant about a billionaire who wants to construct real-life Jurassic Park with real dinosaur DNA. Remember Dolly the sheep? Dolly was born in 1996 and represented a huge leap in scientific research as the first mammal successfully cloned from adult mammary cells, titties. What if Dolly were a 40-foot-long Tyrannosaurus Rex? Universal Pictures, we have your script for the Jurassic Park reboot. Yeah, where they're combining DNA. Anyways, Australian.
I don't like that idea as much. I don't like changing the original DNA code of the animal. That I'm against.
Yeah, that seems to be the plot of the new one. They want to use dino DNA and cloning to bring the prehistoric creatures to life. But Australian billionaire Clive Palmer wants to do more than rebuild the Titanic. He's actually doing that. He wants to convert his own Palmer Resort into a real-life Jurassic Park. And to do it, he's begun chatting with the creators of Dolly, biologist Keith Campbell and embryologist Ian Wilmot. So, Sam, there's a billionaire that's already on this. He really wants to make a Jurassic Park. Good idea. Spending millions on research and technology investment. Bad idea. Thinking you can create and control dinosaurs, also known as monsters, according to our own Anthony.
See,
go ahead, Sam.
I'm not that concerned about it. We know how to shoot a dinosaur. I just don't like the idea. I think you can create a lot of really dangerous organisms and viruses if you start mixing DNA. I don't care if you can bring a dinosaur back and he's the same dinosaur. I'm not against it. I really am not against it. But if you need to start mixing stuff, that's how you end up with super viruses. That I'm deadly against. That is that's night and day difference there.
I'd love to be there when a little baby dinosaur hatches from an egg. And you remember in the first Jurassic Park, they and it was all part of Steven Spielberg's idea that they were relating dinosaurs and the way that they moved in flocks and packs, kind of like birds. They said that they even said that dinosaurs were perhaps migratory like birds. And Sam, do you think that there's any credibility to those arguments?
I think it depends on which species of dinosaur it is. I don't think they're as closely related to birds as
maybe
some
someone.
scientists do. There's the thing, the elephant in the room here, or the dinosaur in the room, would be that micro DNA happens, such as micro DNA. Microevolution happens, such as the white moth becoming the peppered moth when it adapted within its own species to protect itself from pollution. However, evolution macro, a fish changing into a man, that is utter BS. It didn't happen. Evolution in that way did not happen. There's nothing to prove that it did, other than a bunch of incorrect theories that stem from Darwin. Things do not change species. Things change within a species. And I think the difference between microevolution and macroevolution are lost on a lot of people.
Yeah. I have a friend that has webbed feet. His toes are webbed.
That's a common well, I don't want to say defect, is it? There's something wrong with him, but
is that a mutation?
I think it's not all. See, I hate the word defect because that's not the word you want, but unfortunately, that's the only one that comes to mind. Some defects don't really create any problems, and some are huge, obviously. But I think it's just a difference that doesn't hurt anything.
He's got like a couple of his toes are sort of like webbed together, the skin in between, and he claims that he could swim faster as a result.
I bet you he can.
Sam, can we get into a little bit of entertainment news? Now, you are aware that I actually keep up with this stuff probably more than you do. Are you aware that a new Star Wars trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer just dropped the other day, like 2 days ago?
I know of it. I don't watch any trailers because they give too much of the movie away. I try never to watch trailers much at all.
You are aware, though, that a new Star Wars trailer did come out, and that it features Han Solo, like 70 years old, and Chewbacca at the end, and new looking stormtroopers, a practical effect robot called BB-8 that like is really fucking awesome. The way that they did it, they actually made the robot, and it's really incredible. Go check that out on my Facebook page, everyone.
Robbie the robot was real.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was telling my friend. You remember back in the day on Battlestar Galactica, they had that dog character that was really a chimpanzee in that costume.
I don't remember. I have to look him up.
Back in the day on Battlestar Galactica in like the 80s, they had a chimpanzee that put on a costume to look like this dog character. So that's why he moved like all different, because it was a monkey essentially puppeteering the character or being inside the suit. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. And this BB-8 robot is like an actual, like sort of like a ball rolling while the helmet can move sort of independently on top and like you know, a lot of people wonder, like, how do they do that? And it's like a new technology, so that's pretty cool. Also, there was leaked footage of the new Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice trailer, and then Warner Brothers DC decided, hey, it leaked, fuck it, we're going to put out the high-res version for everyone to see. It's pretty dark and brooding, like my friend Vince said, but it definitely looks pretty awesome. Superman and Batman are both just like all ripped up and just like huge and gigantic and just look like superheroes, and like I'm really down for that. I think it's going to be real good. Ben Affleck looked, you know, like he was just brooding. He's just like, oh, Bruce Wayne. And then his voice was kind of weird at the end, like they're doing some kind of Batman Ben Affleck auto tuning or something weird. He's like, do you bleed? I don't know.
Yeah, see, it would make sense. Yeah, you would want to hide your voice if you were Bruce Wayne. I'm a big fan of them doing that.
Yeah. So his voice sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure like after it comes out and everyone sees it in its full format, people will be like, oh, it was really good how they did that. I like how he sounded like Batman. I'm Batman. Anyways, what else have you seen recently in entertainment? Have you watched any Daredevil on Netflix? Because I'm almost done, and I think it's freaking amazing.
Christelle has been addicted to her phone, so I've just been watching documentaries because you can't watch a movie with somebody who's on a phone. I don't even try. So I've ended up watching a lot of documentaries lately, and one of the more interesting ones was I had watched one on 3 Mile Island. And I did it because I was listening to Helen Caldicott, who had said a long time ago that you should never eat Hershey's candy because of the fallout and how much of 3 Mile Island was actually hidden. The number, they say nobody died at 3 Mile Island. People are still dying because of 3 Mile Island. It was a total cover-up. And unfortunately, that area of Pennsylvania is not a wonderful place to eat anything from. Well, Hershey has thankfully taken the step of removing GMOs, and they're going to be, I guess, almost, if not completely, an organic candy in the coming year. And I remember thinking it was really odd, so I looked up again the documentary on 3 Mile Island, and I'll tell you what, it's a shame that it's Hershey that's doing that, because it's actually a step in the right direction. But you should really look up the 3 Mile Island accident and look up the half-life of the radionuclides that were rained over that area of PA. And you can see, like Helen says, the reason that she was not sued for what she said by Hershey's is because Hershey's knows full and well that she was right. And I watched that recently, and I watched a space documentary because there's a few things going on now. We're getting ready to land on Cirrus, or I think we already did land on Cirrus. There were those 2 lights that were being shown from the rock, and now suddenly they've never even acknowledged what those lights were. They acted like the story never came out. I thought that was interesting.
Cirrus is a moon, right?
Cirrus is a dwarf planet. It's in the belt of asteroids between Jupiter and Mars. But occasionally they end up gravitationally being yanked out.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I mean, we definitely need more scientific exploration, right? And more like achievements of that grandiose nature.
Well, we're doing a great experiment here. If I remember, I'll get back to you next week. Christelle cut her finger, and we're trying to go bowling later. So I wrapped it in honey because everyone says, you won't believe how fast honey heals. Well, we'll see how it looks in like 7 hours. Because people claim it heals, like, it'll heal in hours. So I don't think it really does. But we'll see.
Okay. What kind of honey did you get? You didn't just go to KFC and get some honey packets.
Unfortunately, it's not Manuka honey, but it's not KFC honey. It's at least real honey. I don't think it's like, pure Manuka.
Yeah.
She'll be swarmed by bees.
Yeah. You guys are trying to go to the concert and like all these bees are swarming around her. Oh, that's hilarious.
Bowling.
Well, just do like Obama when all those kids started screaming because of the bees. Like, don't worry, I'm the president. The bee won't sting you. Don't worry about a bee. It's just a bee.
I'll tell you some entertaining
news. Monsanto's already neutered them all anyway, so whatever.
I know how big Coachella is out there where you are. Where we are, it's Rock on the Range. It's one of the biggest concerts in the world. And it has recently sold out. I was going to go, and then I got roped into this ridiculous agreement where I wasn't going. And all the people that were still going are now like, oh my God, we didn't get our tickets. And it is sold out. So for those of you entertainment news there.
Yeah.
But I am going to see Exodus and Testament on May 2nd, and I'm going to see Judas Priest on May 2nd. So I'm hyped.
Judas Priest. Cool, man. Yeah, you're excited?
Yes. And I've never seen Exodus before. And of course, after the spider killed Jeff Henneman, who founded Slayer, Gary Holt is Slayer's guitarist now. And I've always liked Exodus more than Slayer. So I'm excited to see Exodus finally. But yeah,
Sam, last week you pointed out that most of my entertainment news revolves around like superheroes and the like, and that's true. I can't deny that. I love that kind of stuff. And just something that I wanted to get on the record real quick, because I sort of brought it up this week to a couple of friends of mine just in talking about news and entertainment and stuff, is that that Daredevil Netflix that's on Daredevil series that's on Netflix.
I have to see it.
Marvel. You definitely have to check it out. He's the blind lawyer from Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil, Matt Murdock. The thing is that I wanted to point out to get on the record is I have I have so many Daredevil comic books. I've been a fan since the early 80s. And I have so many issues. You know what I mean? I know all the best stories. I know all the best angles. I know all the best characters that they should bring into it. The movie that they tried to make with Ben Affleck was kind of weak, but I see what they were trying to do. But this new series, they're really doing just everything right. They're really tying in all the best of the best from the storylines in the comics. But what I wanted to point out is, when let's say you're like a fan of a sports team, like growing up your whole life, you're a fan of, say, the Chargers or whatever your sports team is, right? But it's like, then they have a great year and they're going to the Super Bowl or something like that. And then next thing you know, everybody's on the fucking bandwagon and everyone all of a sudden is a fan now. And people that don't live where you live and didn't grow up with them, now all of a sudden they're big fans. And that's how I feel about Daredevil. I'm like, dude, I've been a fan since the 80s. And now all of a sudden all you guys like it and think you know who Daredevil is? Come on. I'm an expert. You guys are newbies. Yeah, you're new to this.
That's good, though. That'll make them keep making new Daredevils for you. If that doesn't happen.
Well, yes. That's the part that does please me. It's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's really doing well. It's super fresh according to the tomatoes. Everyone really seems to like it, but that's what I'm saying. Everyone likes it. Now they're all on the bandwagon like, Daredevil, I know so much. I'm like, dude, come on. If you want to know about the Daredevil, just come talk to me. I've been a fan since long ago. I was a little kid. Okay.
If you're not careful, all of our listeners are going to know that you're really Daredevil.
I know. Don't make me take off these glasses.
You got to be more careful.
I know. I almost let it slip right there. It's getting too excited. But last night I watched a documentary, and you're big into documentaries, Sam, called I Hate Christian Laettner. And it was pretty exciting.
Who was that?
All about the college basketball player that was hated because he was privileged. He was white. He was kind of a bully on the court. There was 5 reasons. It was narrated by Rob Lowe. And he had really good looks. All the chicks liked him. There was a little bit of controversy, like people were trying to say he was gay at one point back in the 90s. But he made there was controversy when he stomped a guy. There was the controversy continued when the following championship, he made like an amazing shot. Grant Hill throws on a 75-foot pass or whatever. He catches it. He's got 2 seconds. The other team Kentucky thought they were going to win. He turns around, fadeaway jump shot, swish. They win the game. Woo! So he was like a big athlete. A lot of people don't remember he was number 3 in the draft pick, and he was actually a college player that was on the Olympic Dream Team. But then he got drafted by the Timberwolves, and that didn't go so well. But all the college career stuff that they talk about, how everyone hated him for all these weird, wacky reasons that weren't all the way true. It was like propaganda and media spin. So I recommend that documentary.
Sweet.
And to see it's not superheroes. Like you said, I either do superhero or pinpointed, right, Sam?
No, usually when you do the superhero stuff, though, I think you're way ahead of the curve on it. The reason I avoid it is because I'm worried especially action movies and superhero movies. What I meant last week is I don't watch those because they always give you the biggest explosions. Well, that's probably somewhere near the end of the movie. You know who lived by who's in the explosion. I don't like that. I tend to avoid that like the plague. So when you watch those, I didn't mean I didn't like them so much as I don't let them do that, because I've had them ruin so many movies for me that I'm terrified to watch action movies or superhero or anything like that. Even some horror movies. I quit after, believe it or not, way back in Alien Resurrection, when they gave way too much of that movie away. I remember thinking, I feel like I just watched it. I was really upset, and I avoid them.
Yeah, no, that is true. I do. So I feel similar. like the Avengers is coming out on May 1st. So now that it's getting closer, there's like featurettes, another short clip, more short clips. I'm like, you guys have me sold on the first trailer. I watched the second trailer because I wanted to see what you added. By the third trailer, I'm like, look, I'm already sold. Don't show me anymore. So maybe I dip my feet a little bit more into the water than you do, but I am like you in the regard that at a certain point I just draw the line, like, shut up and take my money. Don't show me any fucking more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant last week. Yeah, not that I don't think you cover it well. I avoid it because they give way too much away. I don't want to know if if you see. Let's pretend, going on a little bubble, that there was a Star Wars. The first Star Wars was coming out, and one of the cutaways is, Luke, I am your father. No. I feel like that's what you get in trailers now.
Yeah. Nowadays, trailers are like, here is the amazing ending. Go see it for this. You're like, come on.
Yeah, no, I don't remember the last trailer I've let myself watch. I don't do it at all. Another thing I've started doing, you want to enjoy watching things on YouTube or something more. If we're watching a murder documentary, we will immediately skip the 45 seconds where they tell you the whole story before the damn show begins. And as soon as they're getting ready, where they say, coming up next, we mute it. You will enjoy your viewing experience of anything so much better if you do those two things.
Yeah. If you can edit out the commercials, that'd be great too, right?
In the beginning, yeah, it'll say,
because all the commercial bumpers tell you the stuff.
They give you the whole damn story. We hate that. Sometimes if I'm not paying attention and I'm watching it and that comes on, Christelle will go, la, 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 la. Like, don't listen.
Is Christelle right there?
Yes.
If she just wants to be on audio, can we bring this episode, today's awesome The Media Speaks Live 4/18 show? And don't forget, everyone, tomorrow is 4/19 Patriots Day, and there could be a possible false flag
Christelle, you're being summoned.
But if we could get Christelle's thoughts on why she would vote for Hillary,
all right. I'm gonna take myself out of headphones.
As a young woman, a young woman and an everyday American, I'm looking forward to getting Christelle's thoughts and opinions on possibly the first female president. Christelle, are you there?
It is a absolutely horrible idea. Women are too crazy.
You're saying, oh, that's an interesting angle. You're saying it's a bad idea. I mean, she's probably already gone through menopause, so it's not like we could blame any of her decisions on her period or anything like that, though, right?
It doesn't matter. Women are crazy.
Now, see, that's a different approach. I didn't expect that one.
Especially at her age, or what?
Just women in general think the world revolves around them, and that would not be a good idea for the president to be a female at the present state and time.
How would you feel about Bill Clinton being the first gentleman, though? Don't you think that would be a good idea? They could get back into the White House. Maybe they could return the china that they stole in the silverware. What do you think?
I don't think it'll happen.
She thinks they're going to keep the china where it's at. It's in their cabinet.
If so you're saying that you would not vote for Hillary Clinton? Are you not ready for Hillary?
I am not voting for Hillary Clinton.
Okay. Do you want to say who you might vote for if you were just looking at the field the way that it is today?
No.
Okay, so you're still holding
in again before I would vote for Hillary Clinton.
She penned in Ron Paul last time. She refused to let him not run.
Is that right? So Christelle, you're holding out and waiting to hear maybe a little bit more policy talk, people, the potential president's different viewpoints, maybe even a libertarian or a third-party candidate entering the race. Are those things that you might be looking forward to?
Possibly either that, or if Rand gets it, I would possibly vote for Rand.
If he gets the Republican nomination.
Right.
What do you think his chances are of that happening?
No clue.
Okay. It's going to be a pretty big field for the Republicans. You realize that, right? So, I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle for all of them.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have any thoughts and opinions about Jeb Bush before you pass me back to Sam?
I would vote Libertarian Party.
Okay. All very good answers. Thank you for your input.
Yay! Yeah, Jeb Bush sends a lot.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Sam, that was pretty good.
Very good, D-Lake. Very good.
Yeah, all right. I can interview people, right? I mean, I think up questions and stuff.
Indeed. And again,
we should put together a package and send it out to like Fox News and different media sources to see what they think of our awesome shows, man. What do you think?
I think that they would be they might have better quality, they might have more camera angles and prettier studios, but they don't get as in depth. I'd be willing to hold our own there. Would
you be willing to wear a nice collared shirt and a sports jacket if we were to be reporting in one of those venues?
It would still just be black, even if it was. It'd be a black silk shirt and a black sports jacket. It wouldn't change.
That's how I feel. It'd be the same thing, just black. Mine would be blue with a big American, like Captain America shield on it, but that's cool.
Or maybe at least a Captain America tie.
What's that? A tie?
A Captain America tie. I don't see you in like an emo kid tie, so I mean, I think.
Yeah. I like to wear the skinny tie and skinny jeans. All right, Sam. Hey, it's been a great show. Why don't you let everyone watching know where they can find us, where they can find you? And
go to the mediaspeaks.com. You'll find the work of David Lake, Kyle, I think Court still writes, and myself. Don't forget as well, you can find me at The Correct Views at, youtube.com/The Correct Views. You can donate at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. And I don't know. I think if you hit share on the videos, you hit subscribe, all that stuff, please, friends, know that helps us immensely when you do that.
Exactly. And you know what else helps with our algorithm is when you comment down below. So comment down below, and also don't forget to hit subscribe because we need more subscribers. And don't forget to share with your friends or hit. Do they still have Remix? I don't know. Do they do that?
You know what? They allow you to choose Creative Commons, but they don't give you any way to take the video that you're allowed to take. YouTube, don't get me started. You know how much I hate Google.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Google. Well, at least they let us do this hangout today. We'll have to see and rebroadcast if it came through crisp and clear. And
yeah, because we had all kinds of glitches trying to go on air.
Yeah, but I do believe that we did a very good show. Today's headline topics were campaign week 1. I thought we covered that real well in the first hour. Then we talked about a real life Jurassic Park where we got into all kinds of DNA, woolly mammoths, excellent science news from the science front by Sam. And then we had a final interview with Sam's fiancee, Christelle, which I thought went really well. And I mean, what else do you want from us? That's a damn good show. Everyone have a great day. Peace out.